And I wrote this book, which Lerner has published, called A Fruit is a Suitcase for Seeds. Now, that's a kind of a strange title, but I'll tell you the story of how I got the title. I had the title way before I had the book. So, up there on the hill, there was a cherry tree. This was a few years ago. And on it were two cherries. And when I thought they were ripe, I walked up there and I thought, I'm going to have two really yummy cherries fresh from the tree. And I got there and they weren't there. The birds had gotten to them first. And first, well, I was very disappointed. But then it hit me. Those cherries weren't meant for me. They were meant for the birds to eat and then fly off and then poop out the seed somewhere far away. So then later on, I got the idea of writing the book and telling where seeds are on many other fruits. And the in the beginning of the book, I tell what you probably all know, that if you put a seed in the ground and water it, and there's plenty of sunshine, a new plant will grow, and you may get a new cherry tree. So the one thing that I mention in the book, which we don't always think about, is that it's very, very important for seeds to travel and to go to faraway places. And there's a very funny picture in the book where the illustrator, Anka Harriton, shows what would happen if all the seeds were in one place and it was really crowded, which is, of course, very silly. So there are many ways that seeds can travel. One way, if they're very, very small, some seeds even have little feather things on them. They can travel in the air and in the wind and end up far away. Some seeds are rather big and heavy, and they could travel by water. They could fall into a brook or a river and go downstream and end up someplace far away. But the most important way that seeds travel is if birds or any animals eat the fruit, fly away, walk away, go away, and poop out the seeds. And in fact, if you look very carefully in the book, you will see in one of the pictures a bird pooping out a seed. I thought that was very important to have in there. So, seeds travel. Now, a very fun thing to do is to look for seeds in fruits. So you could do it as a classroom exercise, have a lot of fruits and look for the seeds. Or you could do it next time you eat an apple or an orange, you find the seed. Now, I brought with me two fruits with different kinds of seeds. Here's one, and you'll recognize it. It's an avocado pear. I cut it in half, and of course you can see the seed. It's this big one in the middle. And a lot of seeds are in the middle, inside fruits. But here is another fruit. Now, on this one, the seeds are not inside, they're outside. But I'm going to let you guess where the seeds are on this strawberry. And if you're not sure, look in the book because there's a lot of examples of fruits with different kind of seeds. Some are big, some are small, the seeds. Some are inside the fruit, some are outside the fruit. And it's fun. So next time that you eat an apple or an orange, take a look for the seeds and maybe plant them and see if a new seed grows. If you want to know the hardest fruit to find the seed, because they're tiny, tiny, see if you can find the seeds in a banana. So, the book, by the way, has just come out in Spanish, which is nice. So, a lot of kids who speak Spanish can read it in Spanish. And I wish you a lot of luck finding seeds, planting seeds. Oh, something very important. A lot of people worry, a lot of kids worry, what would happen if I swallow the seeds? If I eat a piece of fruit and a seed goes down in my tummy, will a new plant grow in my tummy? Well, fortunately, there is a question and answer section in the back of the book. And the first question is, if I swallow a seed, will a plant grow in my tummy? And the answer is no. No way, absolutely not. Because for a seed to grow into a plant, it needs earth and water and sunshine. Well, you certainly don't have earth in your tummy. And for sure, you don't have sunshine in your tummy. So there's no danger of any fruit growing in your tummy. But there are other questions and answers which you might be interested in, like what's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? Anyway, I hope you have fun finding seeds, planting seeds, and reading the book. And I wish you a good day. Bye bye.